Hello everyone, I'm Sharpedo43 once again, bringing you all another Wi-Fi battle. This is going to be a PU battle once again, and my opponent for it is going to be Black Mike Sarah once again. I know I'm doing a lot of PU battles right now, but I think the reason why I'm doing a lot of PU battles right now is just that I noticed that Pyroar is actually being suspect tested, so this thing might actually get potentially banned. So before this thing gets completely banned, I actually want to try this thing out in a few more battles in PU before this thing, like I said, gets banned. So this is gonna be one of the battles that I have left using this team. So, and I'm gonna see how well I do it in the battle and whatnot. So yeah, once again, my opponent for this battle is going to be Black Mike Sarah. This is a guy that does all kinds of tiers, kind of like Visual Eye, but yeah, this one's actually a little bit more accessible. So I got a battle with him, and plus it's a different person too. So here we go. He's gonna lead off with Lunatone. I led off with Pyroar. This is not a good matchup for me, obviously, but I do have the hidden power grass on this thing, so I decided to go for it right here. Because if this thing has Calm Mind, he'll probably go for it right here, but I want to get all this nice damage off first. I wasn't sure how much damage it would do, considering that it's a Lunatone. I don't know if these things are typically bulky or not. I think I remember seeing these in Pokemon Sapphire, like in a playthrough and whatnot, and these things were always bulky, but I don't know if in competitive battles they are actually bulky. Either way, he doesn't even go for Calm Mind. What he ends up doing is going for Z Hypnosis, which is something I wasn't expecting either, honestly. So he thankfully misses the Hypnosis here, and I actually just hard switch into Behem, and to see if he now goes for a Rock type move since he missed the Hypnosis, and he does go for the Power Gem. And now here I'm just gonna finish this thing off with a Psychic if I can. He ends up trying to go for Hypnosis once again. Thankfully misses once again, because honestly I don't want any of my mons to be put to sleep because of that Hypnosis from Lunatone, in all honesty. I am able to finish off Lunatone here now, which is really good for me. And now here, I think he's going to send out the Scyther. I was about to call it Scizor, but it's Scyther. These things are scary if they're Eviolite because they can be bulky, and then they can still, on top of that, hit really dang hard. And they're really fast too, so I think this thing kind of outspeeds a lot of my team, in all honesty. So what I'm going to do right here is switch out my Behem because I don't want it to take a U-turn. And I decided to send in Munstil to see how well it can take it, because I think this is my only bulky mon, honestly. It's not even a wall, it's just a bulky offensive mon, pretty much, because it's got a lot of power, but it's also bulky, you know. So here he's going to go into Blossom, and I switch out into, I think, Ludicolo. He's going to switch into Qwilfish on a double switch here, predicting me, I guess, to go into Ludicolo to potentially scare me into switching out yet again because I don't want to take a Sludge Bomb. However, I do stay in here just because, for one thing, I've never seen a Qwilfish go for a poison type move, aside from Toxic Spikes, by the way. All I've seen them do is only just go for explosions or just skulls. In this case, after going for Toxic Spikes, he ends up going for Pain Split here. I just went for Giga Drain to see what else he wanted to do. He ends up, and as you can see, he just goes for Pain Split. So because of that, that pretty much tells me that he doesn't even have a Poison type move for this Ludicolo. So I just go for more Giga Drains. However, this Qwilfish is kind of bulky enough to take the Giga Drain from Ludicolo. So I was thinking, because I went for it twice here, the Giga Drain, he's probably going to want to switch into Scyther to take the hitter, and maybe just resist Giga Drain and then U-turn again. So because of that, I end up predicting him right here and just going for the Rain Dance, so that way I can hit all kinds of things really hard. Again, I don't know if this thing was Eviolited or not, but because of that, I actually wanted to go for the Hydro Vortex right here, because I figured Hydro Pump boosted by Water EMZ, and on top of it being stabbed for Ludicolo, and on top of that being boosted in the rain, like all that combined, I don't know if it'll KO Scyther with an Eviolite, but I'm definitely convinced it'll do enough damage that anything on my team can revenge KO it later. Specifically Pyroar, because Pyroar actually can still outspeed this thing if it's not Scarf, if it's Eviolite as well. If it's Scarf, that might be actually a problem. But I was able to outspeed it with Ludicolo, and I was able to take it out in one shot, so now I don't have to worry about any U-turn shenanigans from Scyther. So here, he's going to go into Manectric. I go for Giga Drain, just to, I don't know why I went for Giga Drain. I think I could have just gone for Hydro Pump. Oh, I think because I didn't want to miss, I think. That's why I went for Giga Drain, just to get damage off. Because if this thing gives me, if I get no damage on this thing and this just Volt Switches into something better, then that could be an issue. So maybe that's why I went for Giga Drain. So here he's going to go back into this thing, the Qwilfish. I'm going to go for another Giga Drain just to get some more HP back from the Volt Switch. And I think after letting this thing go down, I think this is where he actually sends in the Blossom. It's hard to remember any of these names. It's because a lot of these mons I just don't see them very often, so it's kind of hard to remember their names. But yeah, this is Blossom. He's gonna send it out. I'm gonna go for Ice Beam to see how much it does. I think these things can be bulky, and this thing does take it okay, but it's still a 2-hit KO on Blossom. However, this thing actually does have Quiver Dance. I didn't even know this thing can get Quiver Dance, in all honesty. This doesn't look like a mon that can Quiver Dance, in all honesty. Although it is kind of dancing, so I kind of don't even know what I'm saying anymore. But it's also PU, so I also don't know what on earth is in PU anyway. So here I'm gonna go for another Ice Beam, hoping for a freeze, because that's kind of all I can do. I cannot just hard switch on anything on this thing now that it's already gotten a +2. I mean, I could have switched in Pyroar, but I think my fear with this Blossom was that it also carries Stun Spore and paralyze my Pyroar and then proceed to just hit me with something else. I honestly didn't know what set this thing could carry, honestly. Like, I don't know what Blossoms typically carry in PU, so as a result, I kind of just didn't know what to expect. That's why I just stayed and just kept going for Ice Beams. And I wanted to see if it had a form of recovery. Maybe it didn't. As you can see, it does have Strength Sap, which is a move that actually is supposed to lower your attack while also recovering HP. And the higher your attack stat, I think the more it recovers. Ludicolo doesn't have any investment in attack, so it kind of doesn't recover that much, the Blossom. But here he's just going to go for Giga Drain and just take me out. It is a crit, but at +2 I kind of expected it to KO, in all honesty, because it's stab on Blossom, given that it's a grass type, which Giga Drain is as well. So here I'm just going to send out my Rotom. Reason why I sent out Rotom here is because I want to go for the Toxic to put this thing on a timer, because this thing already has 2 Quiver Dances up. I missed the first Toxic, which actually scared the living daylights out of me, because that thing got +3 with the Quiver Dance after that miss. So I was like, oh goodness, if this thing has something to KO my Rotom, I could be screwed here. So I go for a Toxic once again. Surprisingly, even though he got 3 Quiver Dances up, I can still outspeed this thing with Scarf Rotom. It's actually kind of crazy. I don't know what the speed for this Blossom is, but the fact that I outsped after +3, it's kind of crazy, in all honesty. So he does have an attack that can actually potentially one-hit KO me, or so I thought, in Moonblast. But surprisingly, even this at +3 did not KO. I thought at +3 it would just KO everything on my team, but apparently not. So here, what I decided to do now is just preserve my Rotom-Fan and send out my Mudsteel to maybe take another Moonblast. I didn't think he'd want to go for Giga Drain just yet, but here he goes for Moonblast to take out my Rotom. I go into Mudsteel, obviously, to take it, hoping it can take it, because if it just gets one-shotted, it just gets one-shotted. It does thankfully survive, once again, despite it being at +3, which is the thing that I still can't get into my mind yet, that it survives even at +3 with this damn thing. But here, okay, so here, because of the Figgy Berry kicking in, I was thinking maybe now he'll definitely want to go get the Giga Drain off so that he can get a lot of HP from my Mudsteel. So because of that, I just decided to switch in the Rotom-Fan. Jeez, I can't remember these names, man. But yeah, so he's gonna go for Giga Drain here, which is fine, because it's not gonna get a lot of HP now because my Rotom was kind of weakened thanks to the Moonblast earlier. So now that I have this thing out of the way, I think here's where I try to send in Pyroar now, because Pyroar is probably the only thing that can take this thing out at this point. I already kind of saw its entire moveset now. It was Giga Drain, Moonblast, Quiver Dance, and Strength Sap, so I was thinking, you know what, Pyroar is definitely the switch in here. Now that my, what's it called, Rotom-Fan is down. And I have to hope that it can actually take it out, because if not, then I could be in issues. He goes for Moonblast right here, and it's gonna lower my special attack annoyingly enough, because I go for Flamethrower, and it does an okay amount of damage for it being at +3 or 4, I don't even know, in special defense, and me getting -1 special attack. I mean, I'm still boosted by choice specs, but after the special attack drop, it kind of just puts me at neutral now with special attack. So the fact that he did this much is actually kind of crazy, like the damage and whatnot. Here he's gonna go for Giga Drain to get more HP back. He can't use Strength Sap because Strength Sap will not give it that much HP. So I'm just gonna go for another Flamethrower. And thankfully, this is actually going to be enough to take it out. This Blossom really, like it baffles me, because it got a lot of Quiver Dances up and it never swept anything. It's kind of crazy. It just shows you that's probably why it's in PU in all honesty, because it just can't get things going even after +4. But anyways, or 3. I don't even remember if it was +3 that this thing got, or was it +4. I don't remember. There was a lot of quiver dancing though, needless to say. So here I'm gonna send out Lycanroc. This Lycanroc, all he needs to do now is just Excel Rock. The thing that really scared me in this battle was this Blossom, because the Blossom, I thought that after like 3 quiver dances I was just done for. But apparently it surprises me even more than I thought, honestly, because it didn't do anything. It didn't sweep any of my mons, and I was able to at least Toxic Stall that thing. I was actually glad I got that Toxic off though, because if I didn't, I literally would have had nothing for Blossom. So anyways, here's gonna send out Tornador and just get Stone Edge to death. I didn't think it would KO because, you know, that Tornadors, even though they're weak to rock type moves, it's still physically bulky. But thankfully I was able to take it out, and as a result we're gonna win this 3-0. So yeah, all I can say is good game to Richaroni here. That Blossom once again. That Blossom was so scary at first, and then also funny because it set up a lot of quiver dances. You know that quiver dance is a pretty busted move, because it gives you +1 on 3 different stats, that being the special attack, special defense, and speed. The fact that Blossom got up to +3 or +4, I still don't remember, man. I think it was +4. I think, yeah, I think it was +4, and still not being able to KO anything on my team, not even Rotom, which I think Rotom is not that bulky, especially because this Rotom specifically, I didn't even invest it in any bulk, and it was still able to take +3 or +4 Moonblast. And Pyroar was also able to take a Moonblast. Well, Pyro resist, but still, like, holy cranberries, it was never able to sweep anything. Mudsteel, the Moonblast did not KO it. I thought at least the Mudsteel would be able to KO it, but I don't know. That was just kind of crazy though. I was scared shitless from that Blossom, because I thought it was gonna sweep, but it never swept. So I was like, damn. And when I got the Toxic off, I felt a little bit better, but it still could have been dangerous for me, because if he Giga Drained the right mons such as Mudsteel or Lycanroc, I would have gone down. But thankfully that wasn't the case, so I was just like, okay, that's good. So yeah, that was one crazy battle in all honesty. But yeah, thank you all for watching this battle. Hope to catch you guys in the next battle, but for now, just take it easy.